Hey, everybody, this is Mary.
And this is Julie.
And you are listening to the High Priestess Hype Club. Well, welcome everybody to a new episode.
Hey, we're back again in a reasonable period of time with new content. What is happening? I'm so proud of us. You missed everybody.
Missed you guys so much. And we're in our third season. So thanks for listening. If you haven't listened to the first two seasons, go ahead and take a walk back through there. We have some real fun shows. We have some informative shows, and we have both fun and informative.
Come on, let's do it.
Let's do it. Right. Speaking of fun and informative today, we got an interesting topic, Jules.
We do. And Mary is kind of an expert on this shit, y'all.
It's sweet. So we wanted to talk about Santisima Muerte. She is the Mexican folk saint. And Santisima Muerte is most holy Saint Death. So I know, like death goddess, people are like, what? No.
We get all nervous.
Right.
We get all like, wait a minute.
Yeah. No, I don't know about this. So I want to tell you guys a little bit of a story about how she came into my life. Now, Holy Death is known as this miracle saint, Mexican folk saint, who is here to basically love and take care of everybody. She's like your tough as nails grandmother, but tough love.
Oh,
so, yeah. So she'll tell you what's what, but she'll also fight the neighborhood kids if they're bothering you, kind of person.
Okay.
Yeah. So how I found out about her really is I had a dream one night in my old place. I had a red statue. So she comes in different colors, which we'll talk about. But I had La Roja in my arms. And I was cradling her and I couldn't figure out why. She's a skeleton, by the way, guys. If you haven't seen her before, she's skeleton. So I have this skeleton statue in my arms.
Yeah.
What's going on? So I wake up, I call my teacher who's down in New Orleans, Kirk. Bless you, Kirk. You're on the other side now. And he said, oh, I don't deal with that. You got to talk to Stephen.
Stephen, who we've talked about multiple times, who we love. We've been friends with forever.
Stephen Bragg, who has put a book out there. If you are looking for books, Stephen Bragg, 2 G's. So I called Stephen. I was like, hey, I know we haven't met. But I was wondering if you could help me with this. I had this dream about the skeleton statue and I hear you kind of know about it. And he said, well, do me a favor, go to sleep, the next 2 weeks. Tell me if you dream of her again. So, okay. So the next night I go to bed.
Oh,
next night. I see the one who's dressed in the black robe, La Negra.
Oh, yeah.
I'm walking through a cemetery in the dream. She comes out of one of the tombs. She grabs my head. She puts us forehead to forehead. And then she goes back into the tomb.
Oh, wow, Mary.
Yeah. So it's like 6 a.m. here, 5 a.m. in New Orleans. I call Stephen.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, good morning. Hi, sorry. I'm freaking out because she grabbed my head. And I think, does that mean like I'm dying soon? Like what? And he's like,
right.
No. We're going to figure out your relationship with her. Yeah. And that was in 2012. And what she helped me through during that time is when my father was diagnosed with cancer and understanding what death was all about and why he had to go when he went, and just kind of getting an understanding of how life is. Now, I was a medium before that, but having this relationship with this deity, this saint that really just loves you no matter what, but really is, like I said, kind of here's what it's about, guys. Like, this is what death is. We go through deaths all the time in life. She takes care of the big death. I call it the big death. So that's sort of where my devotion of her took form.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny because, I'll be wearing a necklace that has, a skeleton on it, or I'll, have a clip in my hair that's a skeleton on it. And I know that people can kind of like make some, what's that about? But it's about my devotion to her. And so that's how I show it a lot of times, is I'll have something on that has a skeleton, or I have a bracelet that, has her on it or whatever. So that I just to carry her with me.
Yeah. You're like, look, not just goth, not just metal.
Right. Important. It's true. It's true.
Yes, and that aesthetic comes in sometimes too, but that's not just what this is about.
Right. You're absolutely right. Yes, that's a great way to say it. No, that's It's funny because, like some folks, I grew up Catholic, right?
Yeah.
So, right. And a lot of us have those devotion to saints, Saint Michael, saints, and, whatever saint, Saint Christopher, if they're traveling, whoever. So to me, she's like another saint that I can give devotion to and give thoughts to. Um,
Yeah.
she's just a big time one because,
Yeah.
you know, the thought is that she works with God to reap people. So when it's their time.
Mm,
Yeah. And that's kind of a big deal when you get that job. And that's what she does. So,
yeah.
but the other thing she does, there's a great documentary out there about her, and
Ooh.
it's called Saint Death. It does have subtitles if you do not speak Spanish. I do not speak fluent Spanish. I can understand some words. Trabajo, work. That's about, that's part of it. Um,
Yeah.
Trabajo, sure. But it has subtitles, but it does talk a lot about sort of how she came to the forefront of the world and how people really from all races and religions and creeds and it doesn't matter. She doesn't care what you worship, what you believe in, what you do.
Mhm.
So imagine a saint who's like, well, you got to make money whatever way you got to make money. Okay, I love you anyway.
Yeah.
She's an all accepting saint. She is not acknowledged by the Catholic Church. I will tell you that. So, folks, if you're going to try to look her up from a Catholic Church perspective, she's not, she's actually kind of frowned upon.
Not gonna happen. You're not gonna get a good response from your
No,
priest.
no, no. And let me,
New.
let me tell you the reason why that is. Part of it is because, the idea is when Jesus resurrected from the dead, he defeated death.
Mhm.
So where the Catholics took it, or some Catholics took it, I don't want to say all of them, but where some Catholics took it is, well, since Jesus defeated death, this is Santa Muerte can't exist,
Oh,
But
interesting.
but my problem with that is we all die. The physical body.
Like everybody still dies anyway. Right.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right. Well, that's it. So it's like, well, how, we're all gonna leave the physical body. That's what she's about. She's about what's happening on Earth right now.
Yeah.
And the other thing she does is a lot of times people will pray to her or venerate her or bring her offerings or whatever. Like again, if you liken it to other religions, it's bringing offerings to your God. Your God is your saint, whoever,
Yeah.
whoever. It's the same thing. She will if you go to her and you sit in front of her, which I have done many a time, and say from the heart what you need or what you're looking for or what help you need. That's She's there to help guide. So she's not just here to kind of bring us to the other side when we're about to leave the body, but she's also trying to make our lives better on earth,
Yeah.
who you are.
Yeah.
So it's one of the things that I think is really interesting about her is that, there's a lot of people in Mexico who will go to church and
Mhm.
then they will make the travel to one of her public shrines
Yeah.
and bring her an offering or light a candle because it may not be something they're really feeling good about praying for it to a Catholic saint or another.
Right. Because maybe it doesn't feel pure enough or whatever that like good enough kind of. Yeah. I almost went off a little bit, but yeah, it doesn't feel like it's appropriate to bring in a traditional space that puts a lot of expectation and expectation around what you can and can't want or be or do.
Mhm. I mean, a lot of times we're told in different religions or philosophies that we have to live a good life. For some people, that is, in order to lead a good life, they have to do things, that may be under shadow, under cover, under, you
Right.
know, things like that they have to plead for. I'll give you an example. If someone feels like they want to pray about something that if someone stole their job at work and they want to pray for, like, I want my justice out of that, you may
Right.
not feel comfortable going to a Catholic saint or a different kind of saint and saying, hey, can you, kind of help that person get their karma.
Right. Right.
That's not what you bring to Mother Mary per se.
Right.
But
Ah,
Santisima, she's like, hey, I'm here if this is going to help make your life better. And she will decide whether it is good enough to do or not. Like,
Yeah, I've
and
heard things slash read things like, and I am not the expert here at all, but I've heard and read things like kind of knows if you're in it for like the actual best interest of the situation or not. And that's why like she'll decide, like it's kind of like a just because you're asking for it doesn't mean you're gonna get it.
correct. Also true.
I read
Yeah.
that in Stephen's book. It was written much better than how I said that.
No, but you say it's true though. No, I mean that's a great takeaway from it is that, you can ask. I mean, you can ask for the stuff that's a little like, well, I didn't
Mhm.
turn the other cheek, I want something there.
Right.
But she'll say, well, maybe I got to teach that person a little lesson. Maybe I got to help you out a little bit. Maybe, or maybe I'm going to do nothing and you move
Right.
on from it and you let it go. So it's, we don't pray just to ask for things or we don't venerate just to ask for things. Don't get me wrong,
Right.
guys. But also sometimes that's the only place you can put some of those things
Yeah.
or a spirit's, you know, place where they're at an altar or they're, a prayer card or whatever it is. I mean,
Right.
yeah. And I think she's really realistic in that, I feel like I can sit down with her. And so some of her offerings, guys, if you ever happen to, go somewhere and there's a statue, like if you guys come to my office, you'll see some of her statues. She loves tequila. She loves, cigars. She loves spicy stuff. She's a lady, but she can run with the rest of them, you know. And that's the thing. So sometimes people come to my office and they'll come with a little like, nip of tequila. And I'm like, that's great. We'll put it in a shot glass. We'll give it to her,
Yeah.
and then really the cool thing you can watch, and you can do this with anything that you're doing. If you put something in front of a statue, like as an
Yeah.
offering, you can see what's happening with the liquid. Like sometimes you'll
Yeah.
you're like, oh, oh,
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, and I noticed too, depending on like who I'm working with and what kind of offering it is, like sometimes when you pick it up, like it feels different again, like when you're cleaning,
mhm.
like getting rid of whatever was up there, it can have from like a Reiki perspective or whatever, you can feel like a lot of energy coming off of it or different types depending on who are you working with. What are you doing? Is it just something for them? Were you asking for something? Like, what's the difference? So I think that's interesting too. I haven't seen but I don't use a lot of clear glasses, but that's intriguing to me.
Yeah, if you ever go get a shot glass, you can see that. Or sometimes people like will give her coffee or they'll give her other things, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoo, it's gone. It's like, okay.
Wow.
Like, yeah, it's really interesting. When the energy is done with that. So, and this
Yeah.
is guys, if you're, like a Buddhist and you put fruit out for Buddha, or
Right.
they're all very similar in different religions and different philosophies. So it's not so weird to give, it might be a little weird in your head to give someone a thing of tequila. Cause like, usually not the saints aren't going for that, but the
Right.
saints. So she's
Yeah.
fine. She likes cookies. She likes gifts. She's a lady. That's how I look at her. She's a lady. And, ladies love gifts. So yeah, I'll say like, whoa, I'll go to I'll go to a craft fair or something, and I'll see something with a skeleton. I'm like, oh, okay, got
Here you
good
go.
gifts, it's,
Yes.
yeah. So that's my devotion to her. I think, I've been working with her a long time. Would I say I'm an expert? I don't think any of us are. I look at it more of
Sure.
like, I just, I've worked with her for a while and I've seen her in action.
Yeah.
Like, let me give you guys an example. This one's a good one. So I had a friend of
Right.
mine come to me and she said, listen, my relative is dating this person who we don't really love them. We don't love this person. I'd love to get rid of him. So I said, okay, well, what's the problem? So they were kind of interfering in family relationships. It just wasn't a good match. She
Like
was
a bad situation in
bad
general that we're not going to totally divulge on a
right.
podcast. Right. Because
But the male and female wasn't working out. So
right.
we brought it to Santisima. We gave her an offering. We wrote down what it was. And then what I usually do after something like that is I'll read a deck, something from the cards and see what that's about.
Yeah.
I'm reading the cards and they said after the 7th, this person will be gone.
Wow.
Okay. So it was like the 28th of the month before, right? So
that's not a lot of time.
Nope.
So that feels like that's going to be pretty fast. I don't know if really, Mary, is that what's going to happen kind of style. Right.
So, and I love it when I say that to people and they're like, oh, that'll never happen. And I'm like, all right, let's see.
I've never done that before, ever.
No, okay. It's not the first or last time I'm ever going to hear it. It's fine, Jules. It's fine. Because it's so,
and then I'm like, damn it, Mary, you're right again. Okay. I will stop questioning things, or we'll have those conversations. Hello, ADD tangent, but we'll have that conversation where it's kind of just like, I don't know, dude, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, that's been happening a lot. And then, like, 3 days later, I'm like, yeah, so of course you were right.
So I say the 28th, on the 28th,
Yeah.
they're leaving by the 7th. They're like, no way.
Yeah.
I get a call on the 8th. On the 8th, the person says to me, okay, explain this to me.
How'd this happen?
My siblings' significant other walked in the house, said to my sibling, I'm leaving, packed up their stuff, and left. My friend was like, I don't know how it happened. I don't know. We don't know.
Wow.
This person who's left is not answering their phone now. We're all confused. And I was like,
that's a pretty, like, there's not any question here about wow.
Yeah. And all she asked for is all Santisima asked for was like a thing of tequila. And then she said to my friend, go clean off the grave of someone you haven't visited in a while.
Oh, yeah.
And then my friend said to me, oh, I haven't visited this person because it's hard to visit. And I said, well, they want you to go. She wants you to go clean the grave. So you got to go visit. If you want, if you want this to stay done. So she went to visit and she cleaned off the grave and she talked to the person who had passed. But she said it was good because then it helped her go there more. So,
that's beautiful.
Yeah. So that's the other thing, guys, that this saint knows what needs to happen to make life better for you. And, I sometimes get mad at her and I not like mad, but sometimes I'll be like, why did that have to happen? Like, why? And then later on, I'll realize like that was for my best because I can make some very poor decisions sometimes, guys.
Oh, we all can.
Oh, yeah. Well, so
fire sign energy.
Yes, Sagittarian. Oh, it's a Sagittarian decision.
Scorpio placements. What?
Right. This makes perfect sense. No, it doesn't. No. So she keeps me out of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, she keeps me out of trouble. Yeah.
She's your strict and yet kind grandmother energy.
Yes, she is. She is. So that's one of the things I love. Some people, depending on what you study. Now, if you pick up Stephen's book, which, we love Stephen and we know Stephen, so of course we're going to plug his book.
Yes.
That's a great book and it talks about the 3 robe systems. So the La Negra, La Blanca, La Roja. So red, white, and black. There's other books out there. A lot of them are great books that talk about more colors that you'll see her in all different color robes. So my advice to folks that are interested in learning more about her, you can pick up, there's a bunch of different books. There's a bunch of different things out there. I would read whatever you can get your hands on because that helps take what works and let go of whatever doesn't. But another part of this journey for me was I was driving down the street one day. Well, don't worry, folks, we'll get there. I was driving down the street one day and
they're used to us.
Yeah, they're used to us going out. Thank you guys. I love you so much. But I was driving down the street one day and I heard it's about time to start the church. And it was her. I mean, I know it was her. And so, long story short, she is part of the sanctuary that I've started called the Traveling. So the Traveling Soul Sanctuary is out there, guys. It's a community that is launching in July of 2024. Please feel free to look at the website, thetravelingsoulsanctuary.com. Part of that is the Our Lady of the Shadows Temple, Boston.
Yeah.
Which is dedicated to her. So part of the temple is if you do decide you want to learn more about her, you want to venerate, you want to ask for help, that's where you would do it as that part of the sanctuary. That's the temple part. And we are actually on July 10th of 2024 having a talk about her. So if you want to learn more about her, and then also doing a service. So you can come to one or both. Feel free to do that. It's going to be online. But yeah, take a peek at the sanctuary and then you can jump over to the Our Lady of Shadows Temple, Boston. And we're going to do a lot more with her and just really dispelling myths and, because people think she's scary. And I mean, she can be, but she's, like I said, your tough grandmother could be scary too. Trust me. Yeah.
Yes.
But also just, to help with misinformation out there. We're going to try to dispel those talk about how she works for justice, things like that. Really a powerful part of the sanctuary part of my life. I want to share with you and know that it really is. I'm a person that we really work on, making everybody happier, better, stronger,
Yeah, improving community service, improving the world
yeah.
and ourselves, and like being that person. Yeah. I remember when I got my Reiki master, and I promise this will come back to this specifically, but when I got my Reiki master, part of it is you do a meditation and you're supposed to kind of come around to like, how are you going to do this in the world? How does this come out through you? Like, how do you become? And for me, it started very specifically as like, it's me, and then the next circle, and then the next circle, and out. And it sounds very similar, that it's like, this is about working with her to better yourself so then you can be better for other people and send, positive change throughout the world, not just me want to kind of energy.
Please give me more. No, that's
right.
But I've seen her like create such miracles in people's lives. You look online, because I'm in some groups on her. And people who have been looking for jobs and a job's come through, or they're looking for a car and a car comes through and they never thought it could. Like, she just really brings forward things. If you really need help, sometimes she's the last resort that people turn to, but she's the one that comes through. So I'm not knocking any other, your religion. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying from my experience with her, it was the place that felt very welcome, loved. I could cry in front of her and say, I'm upset about this. I did this stupid thing. And she might say to me, well, yeah, that was dumb. You realize that. That's great. But also it's like, all right, let's see if we can make this a little better for you. So why don't you try this or that?
Yeah. We're glad you're learning lessons here. Let's move forward a little bit.
Yeah. So it's true. It's like one of those things. So I love to talk about her because I just find her so loving. And she is, I mean, I won't go into the stories, but she's literally saved my life. And so I definitely, part of that is for me to, speak about how great she is. So.
Yep. Well, I'm glad you're doing it and helping educate all of us about it. And we'll make sure that there's information in the show notes, and that we'll have everything out there so you can check out the website, sign up for the talk, for the service, ask us any questions you might have, specifically ask Mary on this topic.
Oh, you're doing great. And I think, questions, I mean, those are great to bring to the talk. And, you can always go to the website. It's ourladyoftheshadows.org. And that will kick you over to the Traveling Soul Sanctuary. But we do have a little drop down about her, and the website is there, and the pages are there for you to take a look at. So I'd love for you guys to take a look at it, to, give us your thoughts. If you want to learn more about her, if you've heard about her and want to, venerate her, we'll talk about that at the talk. But yeah, so I'm just glad we got a chance to talk about this, Jules, because I just love talking about her so much.
I know you do. And I think it's really exciting. I'm really excited for you. You've got a lot of big changes happening, and it's really good stuff. It all seems really positive and good, and I'm very excited for you. Yeah. Guys, if you have questions about witchy stuff of whatever kind, please let us know. Ask us. We'll talk about it. We'll let you know what we know, and we'll let you know other sources that might know more about it than we do. So... And we like talking about it, and we like learning about it. Oh, somebody asked about this. Let's do some research, see what we can find. We like learning stuff, and we will learn it for you.
And we will work
this energy today. What is happening with me? Anyway,
you're fabulous, Jules. You're fabulous. But hey, listen, guys, check us out next time. Please let us know if you have any thoughts. highpriestesshypeclub@gmail.com. And Julie, if they want to listen to us or go on the website, how can people find us?
Oh, right. Our website is hypeclub.live, right? And you can go there. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok. I think we're on the Facebooks. Also, you can listen on to any podcasting platform that you subscribe to. And if you would subscribe to us on that, we would love that very much. Thank you very much.
Like, subscribe, share. Yes, all the things.
Tell all your friends, please.
Please. Yes. And remember, guys, as we always say, have a great week, and you are magic. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at High Priestess Hype Club, and subscribe to us on whatever platform you're currently listening to us on now, because we're back every Thursday to hype you up. Email us at highpriestesshypeclub@gmail.com and tell us what you think. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.